Did you have dry skin? Doris Day's got, I read this in Time magazine this week about what she does for her dry skin. Sounds fascinating.
What is it?
Well, I'll read it before I bring Doris out. Suffering from dry skin, it's Time magazine. Maybe a wrinkle or two. Consider the remedy used by actress Doris Day. One night a week, she says, I make it a practice to cover my entire body, forehead to toes, with Vaseline. She revealed that in her book. Right. This is her new book right here, called Her Own Story, written in collaboration with a fine author, A.E. Hotchner. And she covers, then she puts on a lightweight nightgown, flannel nightgown, and sleeps like that. She says it does pose some problems if you're sleeping with a man, husband, or otherwise. Doris Day wouldn't do that.
No, not Doris. Golly gee.
You are not a very appetizing number in this condition. I don't know, it sounds kind of...
Covered with Vaseline.
Ooh. Cool Whip, but Vaseline.
Vaseline.
Anyway, would you welcome... It's a good book. Honest, and she tells it about herself. Would you welcome Miss Doris Day? Has been quoted over and over again, and probably until you're almost sick of it, but it was a funny remark. He was a funny man. And he said, I knew Doris Day before she was a virgin. I mean, that's funny.
It's funny. It's funny. But, you know, in my films, I don't know how that happened, where it came from, because I was married in most of my films, had children in most of my films, and if you can be a virgin and do that...
That's very remarkable.
I mean,
remarkable.
How do you work that out?
Do you think it's maybe because of the sexual farce type of comedy, you know, you played where it was kind of played coy, maybe that kind of...
I suppose. Yeah. Everything was left to the imagination. They were a little bit sexy. Yeah. The comedies with Rock Hudson and Jimmy Garner.
That was very, when that Pillow Talk, for example, was made, and you had the scene with the feet in bathtubs and the feet were up against footsies. That was very daring, wasn't it?
It was then. Now it's boring.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Have you seen some of the things that they put out nowadays?
Not many.
Really?
No, I really haven't. I don't dig it.
Well, are you intrigued by it just to see it so you'll know what it's about? I go only because...
Oh, is that a cop?
No.
Oh, I love it.
Research.
I don't care about it, but I just want to see what's going on.
I see.
Is that what you say?
No, what I said was, I feel that if I have to sit here and talk to somebody about those kind of pictures, if I haven't seen one, I really can't express an opinion. So I go to see those. I have to use it. I have to go see some of those pictures, and I could not believe some of them. I went back to see it again, and I agree with you.
Very interesting book, I tell you. I really recommend it for that reason. The only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that...
You have to say that?
The only thing... not about the book, but about your life. And that is that you have never, and if there are any serious, pretentious critics watching who say, well, there goes Rex Reed's career, the hell with it, I don't care, because I really mean this. I don't think you have ever realized how important your talent has been. I don't think you have... You have never really enjoyed these films that I grew up loving and still love, and I want to tell you right now, every time I've set the alarm for 4 a.m. to watch April in Paris and Romance on the High Seas. I certainly
You would not.
have. These are such fun movies, and at a time when there is so little to cheer about in life, these are...
Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm sorry. Want to get me a cab?
Go right on with the show.
No, I'm teasing.
Go right on with the show.
You're a big fan, and I think that's nice of you to say things like that
I'm
when you
not
meet
a fan of many people, really, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. I'm a great fan of hers. I really am. I'm glad to be on the same show because I wanted to tell her that, and it's embarrassing to tell you that.
Well,
that's really nice.
You know, we have so little fun in our lives, and those movies were fun.
Yeah.
They really were, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and you shouldn't be ashamed either of having had the career you've had because you brought a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Well, that's the most important thing, but I really do feel that, you know, I'd like to do them all over again. I'd like to remake them.
Really? What would you change? In what way?
Oh, the script.
Yeah.
Oh, my dear.
That's quite a big
Oh,
change.
you know,
They weren't
the
always
scripts, they were
strong.
trite. But I guess maybe, you know, it's fantasy world, and maybe
course.
people need that. I think we really need it now. I do. People up there, too.
Sure.
Hi. Thank you very much.
That's very warming.
It's
isn't it?
lovely to be here.
Want to warm the other side? No.
That was a lovely welcome.
I'm glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you.
And looking so wonderful.
Thank you, am I?
Yeah.
Yes,
Great.
are you.
Terrific. So you
Thank
must
you.
be very happy with the results, but I don't know why you wrote it.
Well,
What made you
you
do
know, when I read The Galleys, I wondered myself.
it? You had second
Yes,
thoughts?
because it's a very frightening kind of thing. You know, it's like going through analysis.
It's laying open
It's
your
wild.
entire life.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I feel that because of all the things that I've been through, many, many people feel that I had a life of just, you know, sunshine. And because that's what I seem to portray on the screen. Well, it is not true. And to overcome and to have the strength to do so is important. And I think we all have that. And I just hope that it will be a good influence for those who read it.
I know it.
Good old Cincinnati German name,
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Anyway, he said, I hired you on the strength of a song that I heard you sing yesterday morning on the radio. And it was called Day After Day. He said, that's your name, Doris Day.
Gee.
And I didn't like it at
did it
all.
just like that?
Just like that he did it. And I came home and I said to my mother, it sounds like a stripper. You know, somebody at the Gaiety Burlesque House, Doris Day and her dove dance or something. Oh, anyway, it stayed with me.
Yeah.
And
good-
that's it.
And it turned out to be a great name.
I guess it is. Do I look virginal? I know that lady. Yeah.
What are your feelings about the new look in motion pictures, the new permissiveness, the much discussed sex lives of everybody?
I don't like to see it on the screen.
You see, you're being virginal.
No, I'm not.
No.
No, I have nothing
The audience
against
was
sex.
going to attack me for saying
I'm all for it. I'm all for sex. I'm not against sex.
Right.
I just don't like to be looking in somebody's keyhole, you know?
Right.
And that to me is what it is. It's like... That's what it is, and it takes all the beauty out of it for me. I just don't want to go to the theater and see it and watch people, you know, writhing on the bed and carrying on. It's all.
How do you know they're doing that?
Oh, you're really going to get me.
How am I going to get it during the commercial?
No, you know what? I saw Marlon Brando's film, Last Tango in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gave up butter, right?
Oh, God.
Never had butter on your bread again, have
God. Oh, my. I went with Billy DeWolf, my dear friend. And he was not accustomed to seeing that kind of film. And he kept, you know, giving it this in the seat. Well, and I couldn't find him. But we were both rather embarrassed for those people. I love Marlon Brando. I'm a big
Great
fan of his. He's such an incredible actor. I was sorry to see him do that film.
Yeah. I gotta admit,
I could be wrong
I
because
never
many
saw
people loved it, I suppose.
other leading men that were favorites. Rock Hudson has to be a
Oh,
favorite.
Rock
I mean,
is a darling.
We were
Yeah, I
great
love
together,
Rock.
too.
Yeah. Yes, he's a wonderful man and a lovely actor and just great fun. We laughed a lot together. With Jimmy, it was more of a serious thing because Jimmy is serious. He's fun, but he's much more serious. Rock and I were convulsed, you know, 24 hours a day. We laughed and had a very good time.
They all had funny names for you. Now, I remember you just said Billy DeWolf. He used to come here and call you Clara.
Clara. Yeah, I have so many nicknames you would not believe.
Right, Clara and...
Clara Bixby.
Clara Bixby.
Rock calls me Eunice.
Eunice.
And I don't know why. There is no reason to call me Eunice, except that it makes him laugh to call me Eunice.
Our next guest remains one of Hollywood's biggest stars. She also remains unshakably America's girl next door. She's just collaborated with A.E. Hotchner on her autobiography called Doris Day, Her Own Story. Here is Doris Day.
Well, you look like a wholesome Midwestern, Northern European type. You know? I'm serious. I don't mean that to be funny. I mean that's America's idea of the girl next door. Actually, she moved out about 8 years ago. That's
what do you think, Norm?
I don't know. It depends on where you live.
I want to get all
all
the niceties out of the way. You were, and you still are. You've always been one of the best singers ever.
Right.
Forget the accent.
Absolutely.
I haven't been singing in a long time, you know, since my special.
Do you do it for your own amazement now, just around the house?
In the shower, in the car.
Not easy to take a shower in your car, but she's... Mike, ordinarily you sound like a real dummy to say, I'm an expert on anything, because you better be if you say that. You know? Well, as it happens, I do know rather a lot about humor and comedy because I've studied it in addition to performing it. And in my capacity as some kind of a 1/9 of an expert, I can tell you that Doris Day is one of the very best comedy actresses of all time. She can also do serious drama when the occasion requires. But I say this, it's also like saying O.J. Simpson plays good football in a sense.
He does.
Yeah.
Does good commercials, too.
Yeah, but my point is, Doris has had enormous success, but has very often not gotten the critical appreciation
That's true.
to which she's entitled. And she really is entitled to it.
Well, I'm getting it now. Oh.
There's a thing
Yeah,
like
20
this.
minutes. No, that's okay. Yes, sweet. Thank you, sweet.
Sing for us, just 8
Oh, no. I'm not prepared.
8 bars. Sentimental Journey. I'll start. What's your key? What's your key?
No.
What's your key?
Thank you, that's sweet. No. Not
Get out. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna take
my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation. Spent each dime I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation. Long to hear that all alone. Okay.
7. That's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track.
It's too high for me. My heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? I gotta take that sentimental